Hi, dear viewers, and welcome to today's episode. My name is Trevor Bayer, and today I'm going to be talking about a very sensitive topic, but it is essential that we cover it. I'll be talking about the power of celibacy and semen retention, or as modern people call it, no FAP. So, what this means is you enter into this period in your life where you say that I'm not going to engage in sexual immorality whatsoever. And the Bible clearly states that we should wait till we get married for that gift of sex that God gave us. But most of us have taken it out of context. Most of us have been swallowed by the nature of the world and circumstances. And I assume that most of us usually engage in sexual activity that is against the Bible. But today I'll talk about the benefits of abstaining and the benefits of semen retention. This will mostly be addressed to men. For the women, you can derive insights from this also, but mostly this I'll be talking to my guys. So, welcome to the episode. And I'll start by introducing this verse from Revelation chapter 14, verse 3 to 5, which says that, "And they sang as it were a new song before the throne, and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song. But the 144,000 were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled by women, for they were virgins. They are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being first fruits unto God and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of God." So these, if you read in Revelation, these are the 144,000 select from the tribes of Israel, and 12,000 from each tribe of Israel. And it's usually wonderful to check this out, because as much as God says that he who finds a wife finds a good thing, he at some point you usually find that Paul say that it is good for a man not to get married, to stay alone. But because of our nature of sin, then you need to commit to one wife, and at least because of our burning passions, you need to commit so that you do not sin. So one thing I've learned about the benefit of semen retention, or no FAP, or celibacy, is you become more creative. I feel like the moment that you go around sprouting your seed everywhere, you lose a lot of energy. You lose a lot of energy, and your confidence goes down, and you become I don't want to use this word, but allow me to. You become like a walking zombie. You do not have energy to do normal things. You feel guilty. And especially this is for those, or for people who are addicted to websites, pornography websites, and masturbation. I believe that when you masturbate, you feel like you're alone in that room that night. But in reality, there are demons laughing at you. And if you look closely, we have these conversations of having spiritual wives and spiritual husbands. And it's not an easy conversation, because to tackle them is very hard, because you intentionally did that. And sexual immorality is very bad, because you find that you are sinning against your body. If I'm paraphrasing the word correct, there's a point where Christ says that when you do sexual immorality, you are literally sinning against your body. And that is very bad, because your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit is grieved when you do this. So I believe that if you get rid of your sexual immorality tendencies, and especially having sex before marriage, you become more creative. You have more confidence. Your self-worth and self-love increases, because sometimes after doing those deeds, you feel like you're weak. You feel like your energy is gone, especially if you're not doing it in the correct avenues. And the correct avenue in the Christian world is only when you are married. So from experience, you have improved focus and you become sensitive, you become more creative. When things are said, you understand them easily. So also you have less negative energy. I believe that also when you engage in these websites, let's say, you are killing your dopamine receptors. We are created to have and engage in sexual activities, especially men engage in sexual activities with normal women. But for those pornography websites, you literally have high quality and high definition visuals of these people who are naked, and we have visual directors giving you angles that you'll never have in real life, and whatever those people do. And I usually find it very weird that pornography is free. Netflix, you have to subscribe to Netflix, you have to pay for Showmax, you have to pay for other websites that show you movies. But why is pornography free? It is because the devil is promoting this agenda so that he can hook you, and so that you can become addicted to these websites. And once you are hooked, you literally kill your dopamine receptors. And when it comes to real life scenarios, you are unable to perform. So you need to have this mentality of just get rid of this sexual immorality, especially fornication and masturbation, and watching of these websites, pornography websites. That is going to mess you up. You one of the benefits also is you have an overall improved human experience. If you notice, every time you release your seed, you're literally communicating to your brain that you as a man are executing what we were created to do, because we were created to multiply. So it's sort of like communicating to the brain, you are doing everything that you are created to do. So the brain sort of relaxes, and you do not have this self-drive to do things that will make you better. So I believe that you need to overcome these sexual immorality in terms of celibacy. You need to abstain for long periods of time. You need to abstain literally till you get married. Also, you need to when you go into NoFap, when you go into semen retention, let me tell you, you get rid of demonic strongholds, because when you engage in these sexual activities out of the holy sexual avenue that God created, which is marriage, you literally dive into a demonic territory. And once you get rid of that and tell yourself, I'm not gonna do this, you give yourself a strength to overcome the demonic strongholds. So things you should do when you're doing during semen retention is you need to eat a balanced diet. You need to have good food. Leave alone fast food. Leave alone chocolates. Leave alone sweets and cake, things that do not make you strong. Eat balanced diet and have this mentality of self-improvement as a man. Do exercise, go into the gym, ride bicycles, jog, do push-ups, do anything that is going to make your cardiovascular system work, function, make your heart pump, sweat. A good sweat is as worth as a good sleep. Sleep well. So make sure that as you overcome these temptations by going into this semen retention, you need to also exercise your body, because an idle mind is the devil's workshop. And every time you're idle, these things will be coming back into your head and remembering, okay, I used to do this. Where is that website? And it's funny that these days it's accessible. It's 2 clicks away. You just get your phone, click, and you are in the demonic portal. So make sure you avoid just being idle. Do exercise. And then another thing, and this is something that you should focus on, is do not focus on the streak. I mean, why will you say I'm 21 days in, or I'm 5 days in, or I'm 4 days in? You should instead stop counting, because God calls us to remain pure till we get married. So stop counting at all. And it is by his wisdom. I mean, in the modern world, I know this message comes like a shocker to most of us, and you sort of feel like, how can I live without sex? But understand this: God's wisdom, and he is the one who created us, understands that you as a man, you thrive well not engaging in sexual activity till you get married, and this is going to elevate you in terms of your manhood. Finally, be celibate and wait till marriage. Do not fall off and then keep coming back. And if you do, as I've always said in my previous videos, if you do not beat yourself up. You need to wake up, be strong, and start your journey once again. Because if you, let's say, if you fall down and then you dive into this pool of condemnation, you'll literally now go into a streak of the sexual immorality again. So you should give yourself this strength that even if you fall, even if you make this mistake, go back and kickstart your celibacy journey. I'll read from 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 1 to 3 that says, "The Spirit clearly says that in the latter times some will abandon the faith and follow deceiving spirits and things taught by demons. Such things come through hypocritical liars, whose consciences have been seared with a hot iron. They forbid people to marry and order them to abstain from certain foods, which God created to be received with thanksgiving by those who believe and who know the truth." So when I tell you to abstain till marriage, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't get married. If you find a wife, and the Bible clearly says that he who finds a wife finds a good thing, you should get married. So when God created Adam and put him in the Garden of Eden, he first of all gave him the task to name animals, to look after the garden before he created Eve. So the first thing you're given as a man is to work before anything else. Before you even have that lady, you're given the task to work. So abstinence does not mean that your masculine energy is suppressed. No. As a man, you are created to be attracted to the female, but you should be focusing on serving God before the time comes for you to marry. And in Matthew chapter 19 verse 10 to 12, it says, "The disciples said to him, 'If this is the situation between a husband and a wife, it is better not to marry. It is better not to marry.' Then Jesus replied, 'Not everyone can accept this word, but only those to whom it has been given. For there are eunuchs who are born that way.'" There are people who are born with the ability to abstain, like Paul. And these are eunuchs who have been made eunuchs by others. And there are those who choose to live like eunuchs for the sake of the kingdom of heaven. The one who can accept this should accept it. So it means that if you can do it, if you can abstain to serve the Lord, then just go ahead and do it. It's actually very wonderful, and you focus all your energies in serving God. In 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 7 to 19, it says, and this was Paul speaking to the Corinthians. This was a letter to the Corinthians by Paul. "I wish that all of you were as I am." That is Paul saying, "I wish that all of you were as I am. But each of you has your own gift." I understand that each of you has your own gift, and maybe you cannot abstain. One has this gift, another has that. "Now to the unmarried and the widows I say, it is good for them to stay unmarried." And I've mentioned this a couple of minutes ago. It is good for they to stay unmarried, as I do. But if they cannot control themselves, they should marry. For it is better to marry than to burn with passion. So celibacy does not mean that you'll never enjoy the great creation that God created for us to multiply. but it means that you should wait for the right time, and for the wisdom of God you should wait. If you are walking this path, you should wait, and waiting gives you strength, and daily as you subscribe to the Holy Spirit's path, you're going to find yourself energized on a daily. So it is wonderful. It is important for you to remain celibate. It is important for you to avoid those websites. And check this out, in the United States and even right now in Kenya, it's becoming a wild jungle, because we have the introduction of this topic that people avoid, and I'm even scared to mention it in YouTube, because they have these censoring equipments and censoring AI which might detect this video, but they literally are schooling our children to avoid the normal way that God created, and dive into some very crazy approaches to sex. If a child cannot even know which subjects they should learn, what they should do, why are they teaching them about sex? Why are they teaching them that I am a woman in a man's body, I am a man in a woman's body? So I believe that the devil uses a lot of energy to attack the human race through sexual immorality. So I challenge you, men of God, I challenge you right now, if you have not taken this journey, if you are unmarried, try and go into celibacy and watch the fruits that God will give unto you. Thank you for watching my third YouTube video. I wanted this to be short, and be blessed. See you in the next one. Cheers.